I'm listening to 49er Rush. Niners all day. Let's bring 6 home, baby. Let's go.
I love it, man.
It's time for the 49ers Rush podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, 49ers faithful? Oop, I got to take that down. I'm a little too excited right now, a little too pumped up. Man, I freaking love this. The 49ers go out and they handle their business against a bad team. Let's be real. You know, they come out with a win 23-7, which is exactly what they were supposed to do. Just took a little while to get the rust off for the rookie. You know, Trey Lance had his first start since week 5. And in that first start, his finger was hurt. Well, Trey Lance answered a lot of questions today. Again, real rough start. And again, was Trey Lance perfect? Hell no, he wasn't. He was very far from it. Shout out to all the hashtag CC. Get in there, man. I'm going to be doing a Christmas giveaway soon. I'm going to announce that later this week, so get those in there for sure. Hashtag CC. If you haven't joined us before, make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell. Anytime we go live, we do it 4 times a week. You hashtag CC. We're here year-round. We still do giveaways in the offseason as well. But you have to be honest, okay? I'm a Trey Lance guy. I'm one of the biggest Trey Lance guys out there. Do I want him to be successful? Hell yes, I do. Does that mean I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo? No, it doesn't. I don't know why so many people have to pick a side. You're a 49ers fan. Be a 49ers fan. Does that mean I'm not going to celebrate when Trey Lance does well? Am I biased sometimes? I'm sure I am. Everybody has some bias. That's what it is. What's up, Imelda? I hope that's Sammy there. What's up, Sammy? Hope you're with us, brother. But let's be real. Let's talk about this. And it starts with Trey Lance. I think that's where we got to start. Trey Lance comes out and struggled early. Now, the system of play, the play calls that were put in for Trey Lance early were bad. Really, really bad. Like, when you have a rookie, 21-year-old, youngest quarterback in the NFL, getting his second start, wouldn't you make it easy on him? No, not for Kyle Shanahan. No easy passes to start. The very first misdirection bootleg pass to the flats, it took place in the third quarter. And it's almost like the success of the quarterback followed that. Really, the 2-minute drill to start or to end the first half. That's where Lance kind of stepped up his game and started looking good. And so if you want to focus on Lance not being ready, you look at the first quarter. He started 5 for 5, but definitely looked a little suspect and shaky and all those things. Shanahan just kept run play. He called 3 quarterback run plays in a row at one point in the first half, and it was just like, what are you doing, man? That's not what you do. Keep your playbook and allow Trey Lance to fit into your scheme. That's what we all want. Eventually, that started to happen in the second half. Trey Lance finished 16 of 23 for 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked 1 time. That's a quarterback rating of 116, by the way. That's pretty damn good. Add on the ground, 8 rushes for 31 yards, average 3.9 yards per rush. So, on the ground, not much. He did have the touchdown called back because of the Brandon Ayuk penalty, but still, Trey Lance did way more than enough to win this game. It's a bad opponent. Is this the measuring stick for a quarterback? Absolutely not. Did he do enough for Kyle Shanahan to say, you know what? Let's roll with Trey Lance moving forward? I don't think that's who Kyle Shanahan is. Just look at how long he drew out the Jimmy G might start this week. I'm still hoping he is. He's going to do it again next week. So if you're looking for solid answers, you're not going to get them. You're not going to get them. I guarantee you Kyle Shanahan's press conference is going to say like this. Well, I think, Jimmy G's played well enough. You don't lose it because of injury, so we'll just have to see. We'll have to see how his thumb responds, and, that's coach talk, right? That's what he's going to do. Don't give the Rams anything. That's who Kyle Shanahan, always looking for that competitive advantage. And that's not going to change here. It's sure as hell is not going to change here. Now, what does this win mean for the playoffs? Big picture, because I think that's probably the most important. We're back in the 6th seed. It is looking currently, the Saints are up 18-10 with in the 2-minute warning. So it's looking like the Saints are going to hold on. So that next game's going to mean something. It's not like you just, just move on. Next week matters for the 49ers. That Rams game, I hope you're coming out, man. If you guys haven't got your tickets yet, I don't know what you're doing. Again, on the screen, you can see 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Come party with us. And I understand there's lots of issues out there rescheduling the game. We have contingency plans in place. If they do so, party's taking place. I don't care. We got our party going. And again, if you're one of the people that's really worried about Omicron, guess what? We booked a place where the second floor is open air. You want to be down in the party on the first floor? Guess what? That's a closed bar setting. We've got every contingency covered. We put a lot of time, effort, and thought into where and when we're having this. The party's going forward. So if you want to party with us, we're going to be out on Hermosa Beach. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. So no matter what, they reschedule the game. We'll deal with all those things, but I don't want to get into those contingencies because we have no clue when, if it's the early game, late game, stays the same. We don't know. But that's there. You should come party with us. It's going to be an awesome time. And again, if you book your tickets at 49ersrushroadtrip.com, you get all the details and all that stuff, but it's right there. So if you want to show up, cool. We'll see how it goes. That's where that is. But next week matters. I'm going to be there. Miss Chapman's coming out. The beautiful Juan Solis is going to be there. We got Eric Crocker. We got all kinds of who's who of podcasters descending upon LA. You got to be there. And we're going to be throwing tailgates. We got 2 tailgates available. Again, whenever you, all that information is available on the website. Now, I think this is important. LL, he says, Jimmy doesn't even attempt the touchdown throw to Debo. It's very easy to jump into, okay, what would Lance do? What would Jimmy do? 2 diametrically opposed quarterbacks, which I think is a reason why Kyle Shanahan traded up to go get Trey Lance. He wants the deep threat. Jimmy is one of the least deep threat QBs in the NFL. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo would disagree with that. Doesn't mean I don't like Jimmy. They're just different. Jimmy is cool, clean, just kind of boom, boom, efficient. That's what he wants to do. Trey Lance, explosive plays. Explosive plays. And I think you're right. I don't think Jimmy does throw that. And it adds a whole new element to this game. Really does, this offense. It started clicking. You look at the total yards, the score is 23-7, okay? So they won by 16. So they covered the spread. It was 13 points. They covered. That's huge. We had 416 yards offense. They had 222. So we doubled their offensive output. Now, 4th downs and 3rd downs, those are still areas that we are struggling with. We went 5 for 13 on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 2 on 4th down. Not good. Both those were bad. And, one of the things that's interesting, we passed up a field goal in the second half that would have been 3 consecutive scoring drives and went for it on 4th down, and we rolled out. We didn't get it, whatever. But we were on the 24-yard line. Should have taken those points. But then later, it's 4th and inches at midfield, and we punt it. That's quarterback sneak territory right up the middle, which we did see some of those. Kyle Shanahan's a great play caller. I love Kyle Shanahan. Doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize him. I'm wearing his freaking face on my shirt. Like, in today's world, if you criticize anything, it means you hate it. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I love our head coach. I hope he stays. I want him to continue to be our head coach. But that doesn't mean he's perfect. You go for it, and it's 4th and inches, and you just quarterback sneak it. You don't have to change your entire playbook and calling things just because the quarterback changed. If that was Jimmy, he would have snuck it 1,000 times out of 1,000 times. Trey Lance did a quarterback sneak up the middle, got the first down earlier. Just allow those things to happen. Don't second guess yourself because things aren't going the way you think they should go. I'm nobody you need to know. Thank you for your gift. I really appreciate that. He says, I swear for a split second on that Debo TD, I thought the referee was a Texans player. It gave me a brief heart attack. Man, the refs were interesting this game. And I think they were a big factor for both sides. And not in a good way, right? We got lucky. We got huge lucky. The Marcel Harris interception, That was an interception. He fumbled it 100%. That should have been a fumble. Should have been their ball. They said his forward momentum stopped. Can't challenge that. We got lucky there. Then we get the huge pass interference penalty against Ayuk. I think the defender got there early, but still, it's a coin flip call. Boom. Back-to-back plays. We got those benefits. Later on, a 50-yard pass to Brandon Cooks, negated by a penalty against Bosa. I saw somebody saying, where's Nick Bosa? The entire D-line getting all those sacks is because of Nick Bosa. I hope people understand that. Nick Bosa is getting double and triple teamed. That means Samson, who had 1.5 sacks, he's going against one-on-ones, right? You're talking about Eric Armstead. He had half of a sack and another quarterback hit. He's getting one-on-ones. Jordan Willis, 1 sack, 1 quarterback hit. He's getting one-on-ones. All because of Nick Bosa. Those are not players that will win against the double team in pass rushing situations. So is Nick Bosa lighting up the stats? No. That's, defensive player of the year waved bye-bye 2 weeks ago, unfortunately. Should still win comeback player of the year. But it's probably going to go to Joe Burrow now. It's going to a quarterback. It always goes to a quarterback. It's what it is. There's lots of people that are deserving, and unfortunately, Bosa's stats have descended at the wrong time. So that's what it is. But to say that Bosa is not paramount in everything that defense does, he's the most important player. If you're trying to pick, okay, who's number one on the defense, it's Nick Bosa. 32 teams out of 32 teams would take Bosa first. Warner would be second, right? That's kind of where they are. So take that for what you will. Adam, appreciate the gift, my friend. I'm not digging the quarterback runs on 3rd and medium. And again, those 3rd and medium runs, I love running the ball on third down period, as long as you have a plan on 4th down. It didn't seem like we had a plan on 4th down. And so the idea is, hey, we'll run it, and if we don't get it, we'll go for it on 4th. But whenever things aren't clicking, that's not working. Adam goes on to say, hopefully if Trey starts next week, Kyle opens up the playbook a little more. You saw it start to open. You saw it. The very first bootleg kind of pass that took place, it was the last play of the first quarter. That was the first bootleg. So you went out there 3 series and, again, not giving easy passes to your quarterback to calm down. Why not make it easier on him so that he can get out there? Philip from Patreon, what's up, man? He says, celebrate the W, 100%. This is a celebration, and it should be. You beat the Texans. You're supposed to beat the Texans. That's huge. The 49ers continue to solidify their season. We're 9-7 now. No matter what, we've got a winning record. It's Kyle Shanahan's only 2nd winning season as a head coach for the 49ers. The 5th season. So 3 losing seasons. Again, you can put all the caveats on that. But Philip, you're right. We won. The 49ers are 9-7 and a playoff-worthy team. Now, just a few things have to go our way in order for us to get the playoffs. Looks like the Saints just won the game. So that's going to take place next week. Number one thing, you win versus the Rams, you're in. Saints lose next week. They're out. I'm not sure who the Saints have. Let me find that out very quickly. But the idea is this. You control your own destiny, which is all that you want in the NFL. The Saints play at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, not a good football team, but it is a division rival, and they could play spoiler. Falcons pretty bad. So I'm not looking forward to that one. So with that, the mindset has to be, you got to win. Now, it's not just about the Saints. If the Eagles lose a game, or if the Minnesota Vikings lose tonight, then you're in. So, Eagles already took care of business. They're 9-7. The Minnesota Vikings play tonight against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, and they have no Kirk Cousins. And so, again, if the Vikings lose one game and the Eagles lose one game, then you're in. You really just, there's different combinations. So Saints lose, we're in no matter what. Eagles and Vikings lose, we're in no matter what. So those are kind of the contingencies. I hope I'm explaining them well. Or just win, and you're in no matter what. And it's not like this Rams is unbeatable. We beat the tar out of them before. They're saying, well, sorry-ass Rams, right? That's who they are. We could beat this team. They're nothing special. Matt Stafford threw another pick 6 today. Jalen Ramsey punched his own teammate in the face today on the sidelines. They're a mess. They're not Antonio Brown mess, but they're pretty damn close. You bring in all these personalities, these alpha males, and it's not going well. When they're winning, that's great. And they eventually did win. They were in a huge hole early. They fought their way back, and they're a good football team. Okay, so understand, very good. Rams are a good team. We can beat them. Who our quarterback's going to be? That's a question. That is a question for which I have no answer. And we're going to have to kind of see how things play out throughout this week. What's up, Christopher? Thank you for the gift, my friend. He says, what's up, John? Happy for a win. I have no complaints today. Winning cures all. Winning fixes everything. That's what it is. Darren, he says, Trey won playing the worst team in the NFL today, barely. I wouldn't say barely. He won by 16 points. And again, 116 quarterback rating with 2 touchdowns. I don't know about that. Now, if you bet with us, oh my gosh, we hit all of them. Here we go. Real quick word from my bookie. Here goes. Guys, you know me. I'm not going to put my name on something that I don't endorse and or use or believe in. I've been using my bookie for, I think, 4 years now. Never had any issues whatsoever. Easy to get money in, easy to get money out. And the best thing about it is you guys know, if you use our promo code 49ERS, 49ers, they're going to double your initial deposit. So whatever you put in, they're going to add that on top of it. Now, they've been having crazy specials lately, and we've been hitting on all of them. We have done very, very well this year. We had a couple rough weeks, but now we're doing well. So what I want you to do is head over there and just give it a shot. Now, you can start with something as small as $5 to $10. You can go all the way up to $1,000, and they will double that as well. But if you're not betting with us, you're making a mistake. And they can bet on anything from casinos, blackjack, all that kind of stuff, to UFC, to politics, to college football, baseball, basketball, whatever there is, you can bet on it there. And again, my favorite thing about them is if you have any questions, and if you're new to the betting world, that's okay. Call their customer service. They have everything that's going to explain it to you and help you out to understand what rollovers are, how that works with these bonuses and all those things. There's no questions. So head over to mybookie.ag. Use promo code 49ers, double your initial deposit. And again, bet anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. All right, we had 3 big bets this week up on Patreon. We did a 2-team teaser. We took the 49ers. That covered. We took the Packers minus 6.5 versus the Vikings tonight. We'll have to see how that goes out. We bet the over on Trey Lance, 192 passing yards. Yeah, that hit. He finished with, 249, right? And we took Brandon Ayuk over 35.5 yards. Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk every single time, even if you go back in training camp. Well, Brandon Ayuk had 4 catches for 94 yards. Almost made one of the incredible one-handed catch in the end zone. Ayuk had a day. He had an absolute day. So we hit all of our bets. I mean, this is, I think, 7 weeks in a row that we have just crushed it. And again, like, I'm not a big bettor. I'm not, I don't carpet bomb things. I focus. I key in. I don't like risking money because, again, not only do I use my money on all these bets, but I know some of you guys bet with us. It means a lot to me. I understand it's hard work money. I don't want you to lose. But we're closing in. I mean, good Lord. I think this is our 4th straight winning season. Minimum that we've had. We could lose out the rest of the bets. We'd still be in the positive. We've crushed it this year. We're going to keep going. So that's there. Grand Asen. Man, huge fan of this guy. Supports the show. Thank you for the gift. Really appreciate it. Longtime listener. And I can't believe it's taken me this long to bring it up. Shame on me. Ambry Thomas is going to be a problem, Asen says. The more teams go after him, the better he's getting. One of my top notes on my 6 pages of notes from today's game is all about Ambry Thomas. That dude is always where he needs to be. His ball skills, they're trash. But that's okay. You can get to the point eventually. The number one thing is be where you need to be as a corner. And go back. You don't have to go back far at all. Used to, whenever you'd see 20 in the game, it was target, 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 target. And wide open space. All those things right in front of him. He wasn't even ever in the right position. Not anymore. Not the last 3 weeks. And it doesn't matter who he's playing, whether it's the Texans or he's playing freaking, what's his name, with A.J. Brown. I know we lost that game, but he was where he needed to be when they targeted him. He still had some catches over him, but he is where he's in the best position every play. Just ball skills. Ball skills are trash. Even on the 50-yard completion to Brandon Cooks, which was negated because of because of the holding call that Nick Bosa drew, him and Tart were right where they were supposed to be. Where you draw it up. I mean, they freaking met at the point of contact. Both turned, made a play on the ball. Just nobody made a play on the ball. Like, that's what he's got to work on. If he can get that point of his game down, God, sky's the limit for this kid. He's a rookie. And so I'm with you 100%. Ambry Thomas was the best defensive player for the 49ers today. The best. Number one. Over Fred Warner. Over Nick Bosa. That's how good he has been. And for a team that just keeps complaining about corners, and I'm one of them because we have a lack of it, sure as hell ain't that rookie. Manuel Mosley coming back soon if we make the playoffs. That's a pretty damn good tandem. And before this game, I would have guessed we'd probably bench Ambry Thomas. Not anymore. Guess what? Pigs fly, guys. Josh Norman got benched. And it was probably Josh Norman's best pass interference call he's ever had. He's had so many, so there's a whole freaking collection you could draw from. Josh Norman gets called for a pass interference, and he actually turned around and tried to make a play on the ball for once. He really did try. They pulled him right after that. Put number 27 in. Very next play, pass interference on 27. But they kept him in there. But this tells me, finally, there's some accountability. This is the psyche of the defense with DeMeco Ryans. Freaking hats off to DeMeco Ryan. Because it's an adjustment. That's what we want. Whenever a player has the mindset, oh, I can screw up, it doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that's Josh Norman's or anybody's mindset. Nobody feels that way. But whenever you see, holy crap, Josh Norman just got yanked after that one close call. All right. That affects my thought process. That affects everything. There's no room. You do what's right. And 2-7 made a nice play on the fourth down to get a turnover on downs, which I think was awesome. So, like, that's great news. I love that there's a little bit of accountability. Fred Warner, I thought, played another amazing game. He did give up the touchdown. He tripped. I mean, when your linebacker is one-on-one with the number 3 wide receiver, which was Brandon Cooks, their best wide receiver, they schemed him that way. It's rough. That's rough. And he tripped on his transition and fell down and, gave up the touchdown. But Fred Warner played very, very well. Incredibly well, I would argue. Now, a couple other things that I thought stood out. The 49ers defense was great. They forced 4 3-and-outs throughout the game. 2 to start the game. Back-to-back 3-and-outs, which was clutch. Because the 49ers offense was so bad. Trey Lance calming down. Shanahan play calling. Usually Shanahan's like the best scripted play caller in the NFL. Not when Trey Lance is out there. He thinks he's Ironhead Hayward and just wants to freaking plow him forward. Let the kid throw. Let the kid throw. Let the kid throw. But the defense kept the 49ers in it because the 3-and-outs. They were doing their job. They really did a good job. Really, the defense had one bad drive all game. And it was after the Trey Lance interception. Coming off of a turnover, it affects the defense, man. And even on that drive, they had to go 80 yards. So it wasn't like, Jimmy Garoppolo's interception last week against the Titans where it's one play interception and they're starting in the plus, 24-yard line about to score. No, this defense gave up 80-yard drive, a 14-play, 80-yard drive after the interception. Outside of that, nothing. Absolutely nothing. They played really, really well. Elijah Mitchell, good gosh. Let's talk about Mitchell. Dude balled out. 21 carries, 119 yards. And Jeff Wilson has been playing great. 0 carries. Kyle Shanahan said before the game that, listen, I'll play this for you. Listen to Kyle Shanahan talk about Elijah Mitchell. This is before the game, not after. But he was true to his word here.
Yesterday I thought was his best day that he's had just for a Thursday. That's really the only day this time of year we're going full speed, and he was able to get more reps than he has since this has happened to him. So I think that's very encouraging, especially when he does that. Today he didn't feel worse, which was the key, and he was able to get some today. Hopefully that'll continue all the way up to Sunday, but we'll play Elijah as much as he can handle. So that's about watching him, watching how his legs work, communicating with him, which is really what Bobby does throughout the game. And when he's tired, if he's going, Bobby doesn't hesitate. He puts Jeff in there. We have a number of guys we can put in there.
And so he said he's going to give him as much as he can handle. Well, he got it all. He got every single carry because there was no other running back that got to carry the game. Not JaMychal Hasty, not Jeff Wilson, not Kyle Juszczyk even. Kittle got one run on a jumbo end around. Debo got 7 carries for 19 yards. They keyed up on Debo in the backfield. When Debo was in the backfield, they freaking shot both safeties down. I'd love to see some more play action when Debo's in the backfield to hold teams, to be honest. We'll see if that is something that they develop. But 21 carries for Elijah Mitchell, 119 yards, 5.7 yards per carry. That dude, he wore on him. Awesome game. Now, I do want to say JaMychal Hasty, even though it was a very small impact, had one decent return, and on a 3rd and 3 in the goal line, kept a drive going on a nice reception there. Also got to talk about Juwan Jennings. Incredible catch late. It was another 3rd down. It was a bad pass low. He scooped the ball off the ground. Awesome catch. It was one of those, he should catch it. Was it a good pass? Not really, but it was catchable, and he delivered. That was huge. George Kittle, 2 targets. One of those was the interception, and the other one was the one-handed seam pass that was just unreal. And the national broadcast coverage kept talking about, you got to throw it to George Kittle. Got to throw it to George Kittle. Just one of those things. Quarterbacks have preferences to what they're used to. For some reason, Brandon Ayuk, that's where he wants to go. And if you go back to training camp, guess what? It was Trent Sherfield. They're playing the same position. For some reason, that's what Trey likes. Now, as time goes on, that's going to change and evolve, and it has to include Kittle. It has to include more Debo. But right now, it's going to be the Ayuk show. It's just what it's going to be. Even, Sherfield had 1 catch for 12 yards on a nice play. That was a 3rd down catch as well. So there's definitely some things to take away. Now, we look at the overall team stats. Penalties were bad. 49ers had 111 yards of penalties. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. 7 penalties, 111 yards. We were 1 for 4 in the red zone. That's awful. We were the NFL best team. We were 1 for 4 there. Maybe that's for you Jimmy G truthers. That's the stat you probably want to hang on to. Make yourself feel better. And again, people coming at me early. And we're not against each other. I don't believe that. If Jimmy Garoppolo starts next week, I'm supporting Jimmy Garoppolo. Do I think Jimmy Garoppolo should start next week? I do not. Especially if he's not 100% healthy. So if his thumb, which his agent said needs surgery, is not 100% healthy, then you don't start him. I think you dress him. If he can hold the ball, you dress him. You put him out there as a backup. If he's 100% and you want to start Jimmy, by all means. That's fine. Trey Lance showed me enough. Let me ask you guys. I'll put it in the chat. Let's assume Jimmy Garoppolo is miraculously healed, and he's ready to go. Let's say he's 95% Jimmy or Trey Lance. Who do you want starting versus the Rams? Throw it up in the chat. Do you want 95% Jimmy, or do you want Trey Lance starting next week with the playoff hopes on the line? What do you want to do? Where are you going to put it? Throw it in the chat. 95% Jimmy or Trey Lance. What do you want? Tommy, thank you for the gift, man. Says that pass interference was BS on Dante Johnson. I think it was bad too. But whenever you play press corner, they're going to have their back to the quarterback, and that's the ref's favorite play. Oh, his back's, he's not looking at the ball. Boop. Throwing that flag. So that's kind of where that is. Look at we're seeing it right here, man, and I love it. Trey, Lance, Jimmy G, JG, Trey, Jimmy. It's right at 50-50. It's right at 50-50. And I'm not sure there's a wrong answer. I don't think that there is a wrong answer. I don't think that's what it is. Because, again, if you look at it, I think they're both the right answers to the whole thing. Here, I'll start a poll here. Let's see here. Who should start? Because I think it's pretty close to 50-50. So here we go. I put 95% Jimmy G, or I'm putting Lance. So, and again, this is just going to be on YouTube. So if you're joining us on Facebook, Twitch, live on Twitter, Periscope's no longer anything. That's where that is. So I just put that up there. That should be there. And so I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. I think it's 50-50. There comes a point in football where it's not a wrong or right, and this is life too. It's not. We always want things to look like, oh man, we've got to do this or we've got to do that. No. You got to figure this out. And so it's not a either or, it's a both and. They're both good options. We've already seen what Jimmy can do to the Rams several times in his career, in fact. What do? You know, currently Trey Lance is at 61% with 84 votes. Jimmy G, he's at 39%. So, you know, depending on where you fit on this scale, it's interesting. The things to look for, okay, let me tell you some keywords this week as we move forward. You want to see who's getting their first snaps with the ones, which the media is not going to be out there. You also want to see which quarterback is the press conference in. This matters. Which quarterback does the press conference Wednesday? I'll tell you that. Whichever quarterback does the press conference on Wednesday, that's who I'm betting on starting. And you're like, why would you put so much emphasis on that? It matters. I'm telling you it matters. That Wednesday press conference. Pay attention. Now, if both of them are up there, throw your hands up. because how do you know? It's going to be a mess, and that's exactly the way that Kyle Shanahan wants it. That's what he wants. Yeah, SF Niners. Play them both. Not a bad thing. And again, people could say, oh, Kyle Shanahan says, oh, my rhythm's off. I don't care. Play them both. They're both great options. Let's see it, man. And yeah, I see it, Sean. I like Trey. But if he were not playing the Texans, that's a 3-pick game. You could argue that for sure. He had the one bounce off the hands before the half. Yeah, they're definitely there. But there's a big difference between the youngest quarterback in the NFL, the youngest rookie who's 21, and a 30-plus-year-old, 8-year veteran quarterback making those turnovers. Jimmy Garoppolo's coming off of a 2-turnover game. Bad turnovers. All turnovers are bad. But whenever you watch a play and you're just like, I can't figure out why you would do that, that's frustrating. And you wouldn't expect that to be from the vet. At least I wouldn't, an 8-year vet. So if we're, I don't know, it's rough. Which one gives you the best, percentage to win? And that's got to drive your decision. And I'm not sure which one does. Again, just updating you on the stat now, 120 votes. Lance is at 67%, so it's almost a 2-1. Lance over Jimmy. I know Lance is the future. Everybody does. I think this game has shown enough to where you definitely much more so now, not that this is driving your decision against the Rams, you're fine moving forward with Lance. He's shown you he can handle a game. He's shown you the big plays, the explosiveness, the decision making, which improved after the interception. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see what that looks like. Anyway, you guys, this has been fun. I love this. And you should relish this. We don't have a lot of 49ers football left. Maybe only one game. And I really hope you guys come out to freaking party with us in Los Angeles. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We do this 4 times a week. And if you want to see, I'm breaking down every single Trey Lance play there is with the coach's film on Patreon. Go to patreon.com, 49ers Rush Podcast. Every single Trey Lance play from the all-22 and behind the quarterback view, every single play. It's up on Patreon. So as soon as that film gets released tomorrow, man, I'm jumping in there. That's going to be available for you. Every defensive snap, that's there. You want to know more about Trey Lance? Guess what? I have 10 hours plus of just Trey Lance breakdowns on Patreon. Go to Patreon. You type in Trey Lance in the filter. Pulls up all the videos. Every college game he ever played. It's all there. So if you want some more football content to hold you over in this very, very long week, because we're not sure what this game's going to be, head over there, patreon.com, type in 49ers Rush Podcast, check it out. If you don't like it, refund your money 100%, no questions asked. Just say, John, not for me. Boom, refunded, done. Shot J says, do you think Kyle will pull a stick out of his butt, be more aggressive, or will he wait next year for that? I definitely do not feel he is comfortable with Trey Lance completely yet. But you just look to the Titans game right before the half, right? He wasn't comfortable running Jimmy G out there before the half, right? And running the clock out and just, walking into the halftime. So which one is it? I don't think it's a complete comfort level. Again, he's a big feel guy. He's talked about that. How I felt at that time, I didn't feel comfortable. And so if he doesn't feel comfortable, he'll, do what he continues to do. S1K Friday. When they said Trey was for 2022, I didn't take it so literally. That's right. As soon as that calendar turned, he jumped in there. I love it. Chuck S. Let's see. 49ers rush road trip in LA. Live debate. Who should start between Lance and Jimmy? We've got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be giving away so many signed jerseys, other jerseys as well. I'm putting together a live 49ers trivia that you're going to play on your phone. It's an app that we'll use. I use it as a teacher. I don't use it as a teacher, but it's a teacher app that we're going to be doing there. And the winner's going to get a jersey there as well. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be incredible. So if you haven't head out yet, come on, man. Get your tickets. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. But walk away thinking this. 49ers won today. We got to see Trey Lance with what he could do. The 49ers are in position to control their own destiny. What more could you ask for? This is a good time. This is a time to celebrate. This is a very, very good time. So I just want to say thank you for all the support. We've got a lot of content coming out this week. And until you guys get to see the next one, stay strong, faithful, and enjoy this. Enjoy this. Take care, faithful.